Greetings, I'm Rob Hott, here demonstrating the heat with Andertons.hot.com.
Yes, and it's our one day of summer in the UK and it's decided to be very hot, so we thought what we'd do is go into a room with no air conditioning, put some super high powered lights on so that we could do a video, sweat to the point where we're literally dripping, all the guitars won't stay in tune for 2 seconds, and demonstrate some tube amplifiers, which in themselves are about 1,000 degrees centigrade as well.
It's rock and what? It's rock and roll is what it is.
But other than that, it's great!
Yes, and luckily we've got awesome gear to demonstrate.
We have. So, one of my favourite amp companies that I met these guys 2 or 3 years ago in the States, a company called Thomann. Very small outfit, a chap called Mark Bartell makes these amplifiers, and for the last 2 or 3 years we've been pretty successfully selling his the Metro, which is the sort of the mid spec combo that he makes, the Galaxy, which is the big one, the Imperial, which is the sort of the 20-watt one, and more recently the Falcon, which is the little Diddy one. And January this year, they decided to come up with some anniversary models of their amplifiers. I'm slightly amazed. It's actually the 20th anniversary of Thomann. Incidentally, nothing to do with the Thomann, i.e. Louis. Hi, Louis. This is a brand of amp called Thomann. So Rob has an amp called the Imperial 20th anniversary version, which I'll talk about in a minute. It's a sort of a slightly differently built version of the Imperial that's been out for a while, 20 years presumably. I have a brand new amplifier called the Skyking, which is uber cool with some new features on it, but very much in that sort of Thomann classic Fender retro kind of sounding amplifiers.
The thing about Thomann is they're kind of larger than life. Because you look at these little combos and you think, oh, it's a little combo, how sweet. And it's
hardly weighs anything.
Yeah, but it's so loud and so far-reaching and tonally variant.
Yeah. So let's go through some of the tones on Rob's amp. Now it's basically a 2-channel amplifier, a 6v6 power section, so giving you about 20 watts when it's maxed out, but it's allowed 20 watts. A lead channel and a rhythm channel, a beautiful built-in reverb, a beautiful tremolo built in, all tube tremolo. And this is the cool thing, which I'm going to demonstrate to you as well, the Iron Man attenuator built in. So this is a feature on both these amplifiers. You can attenuate the amps down to very, very low power whilst driving the hell out of them, basically. So, just going to go through some tones on the Imperial 20th anniversary using the Les Paul that Rob's got here. So we're going to start with the rhythm channel, which is the clean channel. Whilst we're on that clean channel, I'm also going to demonstrate to you the built-in tremolo that's on here, which is beautiful. So here we go.
That's great.
That's stunning. Okay, now the lead channel, what I really like about Thomann amplifiers, they tend to all feature this gain control, which they call mid-bite. Now it's one of those kind of controls, it's voiced to just encourage the player to kind of dig in, you know, use a heavy sort of pick attack to really set to get that guitar to bite and give a really killer sort of tone. So if we go to the lead channel, you'll see what I mean. If you want to drive it a bit more, because we're actually only got the volume, you know, almost on minimum here, and we've got the mid byte up around about 1 o'clock. What we can do is dial in the attenuation on the back. So there's, I think, a 5-position switch on the back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5-position switch on the back, which attenuates it right down. And I'll demonstrate how low it goes. In fact, let's turn it all the way off now. And if you play now, so almost inaudible. So what you can now do, of course, is begin to drive the amp a bit. So here we go. And if you're sitting here thinking to yourself, you know, is this really a giggable little amplifier? I'll turn the attenuation off and show you what you can get out of the rock channel if you want. So,
wow, that is
classic,
really, really loud.
Right.
Classic kind of driven Fender sound. You know when you sometimes say, I've just watched Glastonbury's been on the TV all over the last weekend. See tons of bands, all with Fender backline, vintage Fender backline, all kind of cranked like crazy, getting some super fat guitar tones. Quite hard to do, obviously, at sort of sensible volumes. This with the attenuation built into it, little 20-watt amplifier, just perfect for that, super perfect. If you don't know anything about Tone King amplifiers, again, they're all hand-built in the US. Now, one of the weird things with Tone King was that up until these two models, Mark, the designer, had been quite a passionate advocate of just using circuit boards to make amplifiers. You know, he was a big believer in basically there was nothing that you couldn't do on a printed circuit board that you could do hand-wired, that if you used high enough quality components and a high enough quality board, you could make an amp just as reliable. And that's been his mantra for the whole history of the company.
Until now?
Yeah. When he just decided, because basically someone said, look, it's the 20th anniversary of the Imperial, what are you going to do to sort of celebrate? And he went, why don't I make a hand-wired version of the Imperial, which is this one. And he says it's an interesting one because he's followed componently the same basic amplifier, the same circuit that he would use on the PCB one. But the amp just kind of takes on a very slightly different character. It's not better, it's not worse.
It's just different.
It's just a little different.
Subjective.
And it's kind of crazy because you sort of go, it shouldn't be. It should sound identical, but it's just got something slightly different about it. So that's the Imperial. Very, very cool. Some color choices on here as well, which you can see if you go to the Andertons website. So I'm not really going to adjust the settings or anything like that, but basically here's the clean sound. But you can hear obviously a lot less output from the Strats. It's much cleaner. Amazing bass end without being farty.
Yeah.
And then the mid boost, the channel switch to take it over to. But I just love you know, you can really, as the player, you can play soft. Or you can play hard.
It's a very Captain Lee sounding
It's a
amplifier.
great, yeah. I mean, I must admit, this is right up my street. This kind of amplifier. So that's the Imperial, and we'll jam around a little bit more on that. And if you visit the Andertons website, you can read up about the spec and what speaker it's got in it and all that kind of stuff. But it's a great sounding amplifier, perfect sort of power for guys that want to play at home or in a sort of a little club band, just messing about. Probably need to mic it up if you were going to do anything sort of, you know, a bit more raucous than a little rehearsal. But that does move me on to the Skyking.
Not just the King, but the Skyking.
Which I kind of think's got that sort of James Bond vibe to it. It makes me want to.
About to take an arrow to the knee or something.
You think so?
Sounds like it's the next album from
Skyking. It's not Viking, it's Skyking. So, Skyking is
Amon Amrath's new signature combo.
What? So Skyking is basically a completely new amplifier, new circuit for the Tone King range, more in the sort of metro territory in that it's a 6L6 output section, so it's a bit louder, it's 35 watts. Still got basically the same layout as the Imperial, so 2 channels, a rhythm and a lead channel, mid-bite on the lead channel, built-in tremolo, beautiful built-in reverb. But this is cool now because the attenuation on the Skyking is split for each channel, so you can attenuate one channel. You've got 2 attenuation controls. So I'll show you what I mean.
Is that foot switchable?
No. Well,
can you turn it on or off?
You can't turn the attenuation on or off. Obviously, the channel is foot switchable. So this is a little bit deeper. The mid-bite channel comes in, it's pretty fierce. I'm pretty sure, let's check where the attenuation is on here. If we can find it. Here we go.
These are open back cabinets, aren't they?
Yeah. So again, attenuated all the way down. Becomes a practice amp.
Yeah, it does. But a really good one.
Yeah, really good one.
Yeah.
So if I now essentially wind the attenuation off, so put this up full loud, it goes from a practice amp to a really loud gigging amp.
Feel that structurally redesignating your skeleton.
It's still got the beautiful tremolo circuit in here, so I've gone back to, I'll go back to my clean sound. And the crazy beautiful big reverb. Again, you won't really use it like this, but maybe if you're in like a surf band or something. And that's not even halfway up, so you can see how crazy it is.
So were you palming your tremolo on?
Yes, because I noticed I had no tremolo arms. So
yeah, that's cool that you still... It's almost like an invisible whammy bar, that's what it's like.
So check this out with a Les Paul.
stunning, isn't it?
It's a great sounding
Yeah.
amp. I mean, they're not cheap, these are hand-built in the States, so you can imagine they come with a kind of hand-built in the States kind of price tag, but worth checking out because, you know, if you were to look at perhaps an equivalently spec'd Fender amplifier, these don't come out that much more expensive. So do check them out on the Andertons website. Feel free to comment in the comment section below about whether you think these are good value or not. I love the fact, listen how quiet this amplifier is, even when Rob is, you know, your guitar volume's up.
No, it is now though.
So that's full up volume. Normally in a room like this with all the lights on and everything, it would be humming away like crazy. And that's, I think, these are one of the sort of the sub benefits of, you know, people often sort of go, how do you justify the price of an amplifier like that? Again, if you use the right components, high spec, lay the circuit out properly, you know, you can achieve incredible reliability, you know, very low noise. And it's only, I think, when you start cutting corners and you know, using inferior components to get the cost down, that you get, you know, background noise and stuff like that starts to creep in.
This is your old faithful box of joy that you plug your favourite pedal board into and your couple of tellies and go off on the road. Yeah.
I know, you know, whenever I'm down on the shop floor and I'm doing demos to customers and, you know, we're sitting and we're playing amplifiers, I always think to myself, I've got to show this customer, if he's a sort of bluesy rock kind of guy, got to show him something like a Tone King Metro or a Tone King Imperial, and of course now it'll be a Tone King Skyking. How many more times can we get the word king in there as well? A king size Tone King Skyking.
Is there a pedal with king on it?
Probably, we'll find one. The Tube King. Ibanez Tube King into a Skyking Tone King.
A Fret King into an Ibanez Tune King into the Skyking.
In my band called King.
King's X.
These are great. You know, I would highly recommend you check these out. If you live in the UK, you've probably got to jump in the car and drive a few miles to go check one out, because I think there's only 2 stores in the UK that sell these. Of course, Andertons being one of them. But you really should. You should definitely come down and check these out. If you've got a Fender and you're thinking to yourself, I like it, but you know what, I want something that's maybe going to, you know, offer me a bit better reliability, or something that's just a nicer put together, you know, less mass-produced kind of guitar amplifier, then I don't think there's anything better than these for you to try.
If you just want Lee to come and demo something to you,
I'm more than happy to come down and sit and jam on one of these, no problemo. So Rob and I should have a little jam now.